Have you ever felt like someone's words or actions completely derailed your entire day? That simmering rage, the knot in your stomach, the voice in your head screaming, "How dare they?" It's exhausting, isn't it? But here's the kicker. Buddha warned, you will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger. Let that sink in for a moment. Right now, in a world of road rage, office politics, and social media wars, we're drowning in reactions we regret. But what if I told you there's a way to stop letting others hijack your peace? A method so ancient, yet so radical, it'll make you question everything you thought you knew about control. Here's the truth. Anger isn't your fault, but it is your responsibility. Imagine walking through life like a mountain in a hurricane, unshaken, calm, untouchable. Sounds impossible, right? That's what I thought too, until I stumbled onto one Buddhist secret that rewires how you process pain. This isn't about suppressing your emotions or pretending everything's fine. This is about disarming them before they poison you. Think about the last time someone insulted you. Did fighting back fix anything, or did it just leave you feeling emptier? Here's the twist. The real enemy isn't the person who hurt you, it's the story you're telling yourself. What if you could cut that story off at the source? What if you could stop the spiral before it even starts? By the end of this video, you'll have 10 tools to do exactly that. No meditation cushions, no vogue philosophy, just battlefield-tested tactics from Buddhist masters who turned anger into art. But here's the catch. One of these rules will shock you. It goes against everything society teaches about standing up for yourself. And yet, it's the key to true freedom. If you're going to take anything from this video, let it be this. Your peace is non-negotiable, period. And stick around for the bonus principle at the end. A twist so simple, it'll make you wonder why you've been complicating life all this time. Ready to stop surviving and start thriving? Let's dive in. 1. Your reactions are your choice. A man once approached the Buddha, furious and shouting insults. He expected an argument, a fight, anything to justify his rage. But Buddha simply smiled and asked, "If someone offers you a gift and you do not accept it, to whom does it belong?" The man stood confused. "To the one who offered it," he finally answered. Buddha nodded. "Then why should I accept your anger?" This story reveals a profound truth. Your reactions are entirely within your control. No one can force you to be angry. Only you can choose it. In life, situations will test your patience. People will be rude, and circumstances will frustrate you. But the real battle isn't with them, it's within you. The great lesson of Buddhism is that anger is not an external force attacking you, it's an internal decision you make. And every time you let anger take hold, you give away your power. Buddha once said, "You will not be punished for your anger, you will be punished by your anger." Think about that for a moment. Anger is like picking up a burning coal to throw at someone else. You are the one who gets burned first. When you react in anger, your mind becomes clouded, your judgment weakens, and you lose control. But what if instead you became like a blacksmith's anvil, steady, unshaken, absorbing the blows without breaking? A blacksmith shapes metal through controlled fire, not reckless flames. Likewise, you can shape your reactions through awareness rather than being consumed by impulsive emotions. The next time someone cuts you off in traffic, insults you, or pushes your buttons, pause and ask yourself, is this worth my peace? This simple question brings awareness to the moment and shifts your focus from reacting to choosing. Most of the time, the answer will be no, because in truth, your anger does nothing to the other person. It only poisons your own mind. By choosing not to react, you reclaim control. But here's the twist. Anger itself isn't your enemy. It's a signal, a messenger. It tells you when something feels unjust or out of balance. Instead of suppressing it, observe it. Ask yourself, what is this anger trying to teach me? Maybe it's revealing a boundary that needs to be set. Maybe it's showing you an insecurity that still lingers. When you approach anger with curiosity instead of resistance, you turn it into a tool for self-awareness rather than self-destruction. So here's your challenge. The next time anger arises, don't suppress it and don't unleash it blindly. Instead, pause, take a breath, observe it, and ask yourself, is this worth my peace? And in that moment of awareness, watch how anger loses its grip on you. Comment below. What's one thing that made you angry this week? Let's see how we can transform anger into wisdom together. 2. Pause before reacting. A monk once traveled through a village known for its hostility toward outsiders. As he walked, a group of men began mocking him, shouting insults and throwing small stones in his path. But the monk did not react. He simply continued walking, his face calm, his breath steady. One of the men, confused by the monk's silence, ran up and demanded, "Why don't you say something? Why don't you fight back?" The monk smiled gently and said, "If someone hands you a gift, but you do not accept it, to whom does it belong?" The man stared, realization dawning. The monk's silence was not weakness, it was power. In life, we often believe that reacting immediately is necessary, that if we don't respond with anger, we're somehow losing. But the truth is, reacting without thinking is what makes us weak. The difference between a master and a fool is a single moment. The pause between stimulus and response. A wise person doesn't let emotions hijack their actions. They create space. They choose. As a Buddhist master once said, respond, don't react. The gap is where freedom lies. Imagine a massive suspension bridge. It doesn't collapse under the weight of cars because of the intentional gaps built into its structure. These pauses distribute pressure, allowing the bridge to remain strong. Likewise, in your own life, the moments of pause are what keep you from breaking under pressure. The next time someone says something cruel or you receive a toxic text, resist the impulse to fire back. Instead, breathe. 5 seconds. That's all it takes. A single deep breath before reacting creates enough space to choose wisdom over emotion. But let's go deeper. Why is pausing so powerful? Because in those moments of silence, we reclaim control. The world conditions us to believe that instant reaction equals strength. That snapping back, proving a point, or winning an argument is power. But real power isn't about controlling others. It's about mastering yourself. There's a reason warriors practice stillness before battle, why great leaders speak less and listen more. The person who can remain calm while others lose themselves is the one who holds true strength. Think about a time when you didn't react and it saved you from regret. Maybe you stopped yourself from sending a harsh text. Maybe you walked away from a pointless argument. That pause didn't make you weak. It made you wise. And if you practice this daily, your life will transform. No one will have the ability to shake you because you will have trained yourself to respond with intention, not impulse. Here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, whenever anger or frustration rises, pause for 5 seconds, just 5. Let yourself breathe before reacting. Watch how this small habit changes everything. Comment below, when did not reacting save you from regret? Let's turn silence onto our greatest strength together. 3. Separate feelings from reactions. A student once asked his master, "How do I stop getting angry?" The master handed him a glass jar filled with water and said, "Shake it as hard as you can." The student obeyed, and soon the water turned into a swirling storm of chaos. The master then placed the jar on the table. "Now, let it settle." Slowly, The water became still again. The master smiled. Your emotions are like this storm, but you, your true self, are the jar. The storm will pass, but only if you don't shake it further. Most people believe they are their emotions, that anger, frustration, or sadness define them. But here's the truth. Emotions are just passing weather. You are the sky. The problem isn't feeling angry. The problem is letting anger dictate your actions. A Buddhist teacher put it simply, feel the feeling, drop the story. The story is what fuels suffering. The inner monologue that says, they shouldn't have done this to me. This isn't fair. I deserve better. These thoughts keep you trapped. But when you learn to separate feelings from reactions, you reclaim your freedom. Think about a storm. It rages, it howls, but it never destroys the sky. It only passes through. Likewise, anger will come and go, but it does not own you. The key is to observe without attachment. The next time you feel anger rising, instead of acting on it, just notice it. Say to yourself, anger is here. Not I am angry, but anger is visiting me. This tiny shift changes everything. It reminds you that emotions are temporary guests, not permanent residents. A powerful way to practice this is through a simple exercise. The next time anger grips you, write it down. Every frustrating thought, every feeling, put it on paper. Then, safely burn the paper or rip it apart. This isn't about ignoring emotions, it's about releasing them. Writing externalizes the anger, giving you space to process without reacting. And when you watch it turn to ashes, you remind yourself, I am not my emotions. I am the one observing them. But here's the twist. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Pain is the moment someone betrays you, disrespects you, or frustrates you. Suffering is the endless replaying of that moment in your mind. Pain is real, but suffering is a choice. You don't have to carry every storm that passes through you. You don't have to let anger live rent-free in your heart. Instead, acknowledge it, feel it, and then let it go. Here's your challenge. The next time anger visits, don't react. Instead, write it down, observe it, and let it go. Try this for 1 week and see the difference. Comment below. What's one emotion you struggle to let go of? Let's learn to be the sky, not the storm. Together. 4. Let go of expectations. A traveler once came to a Zen master, frustrated and exhausted. I have done everything right, he said. I work hard. I treat people well. Yet life doesn't give me what I deserve. People betray me, disappoint me. It's unfair. The master listened, then pointed to a river flowing nearby. Do you see that river? It does not argue with the rocks in its path. It does not demand that they move. It simply flows around them. The traveler was silent. The master continued, suffering comes not from obstacles, but from the belief that they shouldn't be there. The fastest way to frustration is expecting life, people, and circumstances to follow the script you've written in your mind. You expect others to understand you, to treat you the way you treat them, to appreciate your efforts, and when they don't, anger rises. But here's the truth. Expectations are self-made prisons. Every should you hold on to tightens the bars. They should apologize. They should know how I feel. This shouldn't have happened to me. But the world does not operate by your rules. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop clinging. As the Buddha once said, if you let go a little, you'll have a little peace. Let go a lot, and you'll have a lot. Clinging to expectations is like trying to hold water in a clenched fist. The tighter you squeeze, the more it slips through your fingers. True peace comes when you open your hand and let life flow as it is, not as you demand it to be. Imagine standing in a river, trying to push the water backward. That's what it feels like to resist reality, to fight what already is. The river doesn't stop for obstacles. It doesn't argue with the rocks. It doesn't demand that they move. It flows, and so must you. The next time you catch yourself thinking, they should understand me, or this shouldn't be happening, pause. Replace it with, I release my need to control. This simple shift transforms your energy from resistance to acceptance. It doesn't mean you tolerate mistreatment, but that you no longer let it control your inner peace. But here's the twist. Letting go isn't giving up. It's gaining freedom. When you expect nothing, everything is a gift. When you stop demanding life to be a certain way, you open yourself to what is. You realize that peace was never outside of you. It was only blocked by your own attachments. The less you grip, the more you receive. Here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, every time frustration arises, ask yourself, what expectation am I holding on to right now? Then breathe and say, I release my need to control. Watch how this small practice lightens your heart. Comment below. What's one expectation you struggle to let go of? Let's learn to flow like the river together. 5. Choose peace over being right. A samurai once challenged a Zen master to a debate. The samurai was fierce, skilled in battle, and known for his sharp tongue. But the master simply sat in silence. Frustrated, the samurai demanded, defend yourself. Show me your wisdom. The master smiled and said, if someone hands you a poisoned gift and you refuse to accept it, to whom does it belong? The samurai frowned, realizing the answer. The master continued, likewise, when someone offers you conflict, you do not have to take it. Most people believe winning an argument gives them power, that proving a point makes them superior. But here's the truth. Winning an argument often means losing inner peace. You may win in words, but at what cost? Restlessness, resentment, a mind replaying the conversation over and over. Buddhism teaches that true wisdom is not in having the last word, but in knowing when words are unnecessary. The Dhammapada says, better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace. Think of bamboo swaying in the wind. It does not fight the storm, nor does it try to resist it. It bends, it flows, and because of that, it never breaks. Arguments are the same. The more rigid you are, the easier you snap. The next time someone tries to provoke you, pause. Instead of engaging, simply say, I see your point. Not because you agree, but because you value peace more than proving yourself. Watch how this single sentence dissolves tension. Watch how power shifts to you. But let's go deeper. Why do we fight to be right? Because the ego craves validation. It feeds on superiority, on being seen as the smartest, the strongest. But what the ego does not tell you is that being right often isolates you. Being right creates walls. Choosing peace builds bridges. Imagine two people in a heated argument, each convinced they are right. What do they gain? A bruised ego, a broken connection, wasted energy. Now imagine one of them stepping back and saying, you may be right. The fire dies instantly. The argument ends not in defeat, but in wisdom. Some might think this is weakness, but in reality, it's the ultimate strength. It takes no effort to yell, to prove, to fight, but to walk away, to smile, and let go. That takes mastery. A wise person does not chase validation. They chase peace. And in doing so, they always win without ever needing to fight. Here's your challenge. For the next 7 days when conflict arises, pause and say, I see your point. Not to submit, but to rise above, to value peace over ego. Then observe what happens. Comment below. When did choosing peace surprise you? Let's learn to be like bamboo, strong yet flexible, peaceful yet unbreakable together. 6. Detach your worth from others' opinions. A young monk once asked the Buddha, Master, people praise you. and people insult you. Do these words not trouble you? The Buddha smiled and picked up a rock. If I call this a diamond, does it change? If I call it worthless, does it lose its weight? The monk shook his head. The Buddha continued, then why should your worth change? Because of someone's words. Most people live as if their value is borrowed from others. A compliment makes them feel worthy. A criticism makes them question themselves. But here's the truth. Your worth is not a vote. It is not determined by how many people approve of you. Whether praised or insulted, you remain the same. The Dhammapada states, just as a solid rock isn't shaken by the wind, the wise aren't moved by praise or blame. Think of a diamond. Whether a jeweler admires it or a child mistakes it for glass, does its value change? Number. It remains a diamond, but most people treat themselves like paper, crumpling at every insult, folding at every rejection. Detach not from people, but from the need for validation. When you do, you become unshakable. The next time someone criticizes you, instead of reacting, pause. Ask yourself, is this a reflection of me or of them? Because people see you not as you are, but as they are. A bitter person will call you selfish. An insecure person will call you arrogant. And a wise person? They will say nothing at all because they know that you are not their mirror. This doesn't mean ignoring feedback, but choosing what to absorb. If criticism helps you grow, accept it. If it only seeks to wound, discard it. Not everyone's opinion deserves a place in your mind. The Buddha taught, if someone offers you a gift and you do not accept it, to whom does it belong? Likewise, if someone offers you an insult and you do not accept it, it remains theirs, not yours. One powerful way to train this mindset is through a simple practice. Whenever you feel hurt by someone's words, write down 3 self-affirmations. If they call you weak, remind yourself, I am resilient. If they call you unworthy, write, I define my own worth. If they try to shake you, stand firm like a rock, I remain unmoved. This isn't arrogance, it's self-ownership. But here's the twist. The less you need approval, the more respect you gain. When you no longer react, people sense your strength. They realize their words have no power over you. And suddenly, the world that once dictated your worth now holds no control. Here's your challenge. The next time you feel shaken by someone's opinion, pause and ask, is this their mirror or mine? Then, write down 3 affirmations to remind yourself of who you truly are. Comment below. What's one criticism you've learned to let go of? Let's become unshakable together. 7. Set boundaries to protect your energy. A wise man once said, you can't pour from an empty cup. Yet so many people live as if they must give endlessly time, energy, attention, until there's nothing left for themselves. They absorb negativity, tolerate disrespect, and stretch themselves thin, all in the name of being kind. But real kindness isn't self-sacrifice, it's self-respect. The Buddhist sage Shantideva said, if you don't tend to your own flame, how will you light others' lamps? Imagine a castle, a strong, peaceful kingdom inside, but surrounded by a moat. That moat isn't there to keep out friends. It's there to keep the peace. Your energy is the kingdom, your boundaries, the moat. Yet so many let invaders in, believing that saying no is selfish. But here's the truth. Boundaries don't push people away. They teach people how to treat you. Have you ever felt exhausted after a conversation? That's a sign your moat has run dry. Some people bring light, others drain it. And if you allow them to pull you into their chaos, you'll mistake their storm for your own. The next time someone makes a demand of your energy, don't react. Instead say, I'll revisit this when I'm centered. This isn't avoidance, it's self-mastery. It's understanding that you cannot control how others act, but you can control what you allow. Some will resist your boundaries. They will call you cold, selfish, or uncaring. But understand this, people who get upset when you set limits are the ones who benefited from you having none. Do not let their discomfort make you question your worth. A peaceful life is not built by pleasing everyone. It's built by protecting what matters. Think about a monk meditating in the mountains. He does not allow every passerby to disturb him, not because he lacks compassion, but because he understands that his stillness serves a greater purpose. He protects his peace so he can share it when the time is right. Likewise, when you guard your energy, you create space for what truly matters: growth, connection, purpose. Boundaries are not walls, they are bridges. They teach people how to respect you, how to value your presence, rather than take it for granted. And most importantly, they give you permission to choose peace over obligation. Here's your challenge. The next time someone drains your energy, pause. Instead of reacting, simply say, "I'll revisit this when I'm centered." Observe how it shifts the dynamic. Notice how reclaiming your space strengthens, not weakens, your relationships. Comment below. What's one boundary you wish you had set sooner? Let's build a life where peace is protected, not sacrificed together. 8. Respond with silence, not anger. A man once insulted the Buddha, hurling words like stones, trying to provoke a reaction, but the Buddha simply smiled. Frustrated, the man asked, "Why don't you respond?" The Buddha replied, "If someone offers you a gift and you do not accept it, to whom does it belong?" The man stood in silence, realizing the answer. Anger only belongs to those who carry it. Most people believe they must fight every battle, defend every insult, prove every point. But the truth is, nothing strengthens conflict like resistance. When you react with anger, you fuel the fire. But when you respond with silence, the fire stars itself. A Zen master once taught, "The great way is not difficult, just cease having opinions." It is not that you become indifferent, but that you understand this. Not every comment needs a reply. Not every insult needs defense. Think of a mirror. When someone stands before it, it reflects, but it does not absorb. You must be the same. If someone throws anger at you and you do not absorb it, where does it go? Nowhere. It dissolves. But if you engage, if you reflect back that anger, it multiplies. Silence is not weakness, it is mastery. The next time someone tries to provoke you, try this. Pause. Say nothing. Watch. Observe how their energy falters when it meets stillness. Instead of resistance, they expect a reaction. Don't give them what they want. If you are silent, their words remain with them. But if you react, you now carry their burden. The choice is always yours. A simple but powerful practice. Gust 24 hours without complaining, defending or reacting to negativity. When you feel the urge to argue, hold your breath for 3 seconds and let it pass. Observe how much power you regain simply by choosing not to engage. This isn't about suppressing emotions, but about choosing where to place your energy. Here's the twist. Silence does not make you passive. It makes you unshakable. It forces others to sit with their own energy instead of projecting it onto you. And when you become someone who is not easily provoked, you become someone who cannot be controlled. Here's your challenge. For the next 24 hours, practice this. No complaints, no defenses, no reactions to negativity. If someone criticizes you, let it pass like the wind. If someone tries to provoke you, smile and walk away. See what happens when you master the art of silence. Comment below. What's one time you wish you had stayed silent instead of reacting? Let's reclaim our peace together. 9. Reframe situations. A traveler once encountered a village where he was met with hostility. The people sneered at him, whispering behind his back. He felt anger rise within him. But then he asked himself, what if this is not an attack but a lesson? Instead of reacting, he observed. He realized the villagers were not cruel. They were afraid of outsiders. Instead of returning their hostility, he responded with kindness. And in time, their suspicion melted. This is the power of reframing. Nothing in life has meaning except the meaning you assign to it. When something happens, you have two choices. See it as an obstacle or see it as a lesson. The Buddha taught, with our thoughts, we make the world. This means every situation is a blank canvas. Your perspective is the brush. Imagine holding a camera. If you zoom in on frustration, all you'll see is negativity. But if you shift the focus, you might see an opportunity hidden within the challenge. Your boss isn't micromanaging you. They need reassurance. That difficult person in your life. They aren't here to annoy you. They are here to teach you patience. The moment you change your perspective, the weight of the world lifts. But what about real pain? What about true injustice? Reframing doesn't mean denying reality. It means choosing how you respond to it. Think of a storm in a jar. When you shake it, the water churns, creating chaos. But beneath it, the jar itself remains steady. You are the jar, not the storm. The storm will pass, but only if you don't become attached to it. Next time you feel frustration, stop and ask, what is this teaching me? Not, why is this happening to me? But how can this serve me? Suddenly, problems transform into stepping stones. A breakup becomes an invitation to self-love. Rejection becomes redirection. Failure becomes feedback. A closed door isn't a dead end. It's a detour to something better. Try this today. Pick one frustration and reframe it. If traffic is making you angry, see it as a moment to practice patience. If someone criticizes you, recognize it as an opportunity to strengthen your confidence. If your plans fall apart, see it as space for something better. Write it down. What new meaning can you give this situation? The moment you shift your perspective, the world stops being against you and starts working for you. Here's the twist. Every problem is just a question in disguise. The universe isn't punishing you. It's asking, how will you respond? Will you resist or will you learn? Comment below. What's one challenge you're facing that you can reframe today? Let's reshape our world one thought at a time. 10. Practice emotional mastery. A young warrior once sought the wisdom of a Zen master, frustrated by his inability to control his anger. Master, I try to stay calm, but the world constantly provokes me. How do I defeat my emotions? The master smiled and handed him a sword. Sharpen this blade every day, but never use it in battle. Confused, the warrior obeyed. Days turned to weeks, weeks to months. One day he was provoked, but instead of reacting, he laughed. He finally understood. Mastery isn't about control, it's about transformation. Emotional mastery is not suppression. It's not pretending you don't feel anger, sadness, or frustration. It's about understanding your emotions and choosing how to respond. Milarepa once said, happiness and suffering are your own creations. Take responsibility. This means your emotions don't control you. You control them not by force, but by awareness. Imagine a sword. It doesn't become sharp instantly. It's refined through daily practice. Your mind is the same. Every emotional challenge is an opportunity to sharpen your inner blade. But let's be honest, some emotions hit hard. A comment, a betrayal, a setback that feels personal. In those moments, your emotions will try to own you. But pause. Instead of reacting, observe. Ask yourself, what is this feeling trying to tell me? Instead of resisting, lean into it. The more you fight emotions, the more they control you. The moment you acknowledge them, their power over you weakens. One of the simplest ways to practice emotional mastery is through self-reflection. Try this. At the end of each day, write down one emotional trigger. What upset you? What caused stress? Then ask, was this reaction necessary? Could I have responded differently? With time, you'll notice patterns. Maybe certain people always trigger you. Maybe specific situations make you defensive. Awareness is the first step toward mastery. And here's the secret. Mastery isn't about perfection, it's about presence. The most powerful people in the world are not the ones who never feel anger. They are the ones who recognize anger, let it pass and remain unshaken. Think of an ocean. Waves will come, some gentle, some fierce. But the depth of the ocean remains still. You are not the wave, you are the depth beneath it. Try this challenge. For the next 7 days, practice emotional mastery. When something provokes you, pause, breathe, write it down. Then, instead of reacting, respond with intention. Comment below, what emotion do you struggle to master the most? Let's sharpen our swords one mindful moment at a time. Bonus principle. Embrace impermanence as liberation. Nothing lasts forever. Not pain, not joy, not even the struggles that seem endless. The Buddha once said, "This too shall pass." Yet we resist change. We cling to things, people, and emotions, hoping they will stay the same. But life is like a river, always flowing, never stagnant. Imagine a sand mandala, carefully crafted by monks, only to be swept away upon completion. Why? Because beauty lies in impermanence. When we embrace this truth, we stop fearing loss and start living freely. How many times have you felt trapped by a problem, convinced it would never end? Maybe it was heartbreak, financial struggles, or an argument that consumed your peace. But look back. How many of those problems still exist today? The suffering wasn't in the situation itself, but in your resistance to change. Clinging to what was or what should have been creates suffering. Letting go, though, opens the door to freedom. A storm may rage, but it will pass. A wound might hurt, but it will eventually heal. Even the deepest sorrow softens with time, but the mind often tricks us into thinking pain will last forever. When something goes wrong, we tend to think the worst. This is my life now. But take a step back. Try to see the bigger picture. A problem that feels huge today might not matter at all in a year. Ask yourself, what serious issue today could disappear in a year? The answer might surprise you. Just think about nature. Seasons shift. Tides come and go. The sun goes down, only to rise again. Nothing in life stays the same. So why do we expect people, situations, or feelings to stay unchanged? We hold on to relationships that ended long ago, chase goals that no longer help us, and fight against the natural flow of life. But what if, instead of fearing change, you chose to accept it? What if every ending was actually a new beginning? Picture the peace that comes from letting go of control. When you feel overwhelmed, quietly say to yourself, "This is not forever." These 4 simple words carry great strength. They remind you that pain doesn't last, that no struggle is endless. If you can sit with the discomfort without clinging to it, you'll begin to notice something amazing. It starts to lose its grip on you. You are not your pain. You are the awareness behind it, observing it as it comes and goes, like clouds drifting through the sky. Accepting impermanence doesn't mean giving up or not caring. It means living fully in every moment, knowing that nothing is truly gone, only changed. The job you lost made room for a better chance. The heartbreak you went through opened you up for deeper love. The fear you faced helped build your strength. Everything changes, and within that change, there is a hidden gift. If you knew today wouldn't last, how would you live differently? Would you let small arguments disturb your peace? Would you waste time thinking about things you can't control? Or would you let life flow, welcoming its constant change with an open heart? The choice is yours. Let go, take a breath, have faith, because nothing stays the same forever. And that's a beautiful truth. Quick summary of the 10 principles. 1. Your reactions are your choice. Anger is something you choose. It's not something you must feel. Buddha teaches that we are punished by our anger, not because of it. Understand that you have the power to choose how you respond, not just react. 2. Pause before reacting. Make space between what happens and how you respond. That space holds your freedom. Breathe first, then act. 3. Don't confuse emotions with reactions. Feelings come and go. Your inner self stays calm. Watch your feelings without letting them control what you do. 4. Let go of expectations. Pain often comes from holding on to how we think things should be. Let go of control and move like water. 5. Choose peace over being right. Winning a fight can take away your inner peace. Choose harmony instead of feeding the ego. 6. Don't tie your self-worth to others' opinions. Your value has always been within you. The wise stay steady, whether praised or blamed. 7. Protect your energy by setting boundaries. Real compassion begins with caring for yourself. Say no to negativity to keep your peace. 8. Answer with silence, not anger. Silence calms the storm. Pause. Don't take in the chaos. 9. Look at things differently. Shift from, "Why is this happening to me?" to "What is this trying to teach me?" Your thoughts shape your world. 10. Train your emotions every day. Discipline strengthens your spirit. Let go of control and live in the now. The mind is powerful. What you think, you become. This simple truth sits at the heart of Buddhist wisdom. Your inner world shapes how you experience the outer world. Every moment of anger, every bit of resentment reflects your attachment to illusions. But what if, instead of fighting the storm, you became the sky, wide, calm and free? Zen teaches us, let go or be pulled along. The principles you've learned today aren't just helpful ideas. They're invitations to change how you live and see life. Picture a life where others' words no longer weigh you down, where insults vanish like drops of rain in the ocean. This power isn't magic. It already belongs to you. Here's the truth. Real strength comes from letting go. A monk who smiles at an insult isn't weak. They've learned the power of not resisting. As the Diamond Sutra tells us, all created things are like a dream, a shadow, a drop of dew. So why hold on to something that isn't real? A Zen koan asks, what is the sound of one hand clapping? It's not just a puzzle. It's an invitation to go beyond opposites, anger and peace, pain and joy. They are just two sides of the same coin. Your task isn't to choose a side, but to let go of the coin completely. True peace rises from within. Don't look for it outside. If there's one message to remember from this video, let it be this. Your mind is the battlefield, and you are the one holding the sword. Keep sharpening it every day. And before you leave, tap the like button. Share this with someone who feels lost in the chaos, and subscribe to Buddhism Journey for more keys to lasting peace. Your journey starts now.